And that's what I mean. Those guys in that room, they know how hard it is. It is so hard to win a game at the big league level, let alone to get into the postseason. And like I said, I know the Yankee fans, they won a championship. I get it. But as a player, celebrate, man. Every milestone you get to, make sure that you're locking arms with each other and you're appreciating what you're doing.
And I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life.
Boom! Coming in hot, Chichi. What's going on? We got the new countdown.
I'm just laughing at the countdown clock. It looks so professional. And Sean's got his hand up like this, getting ready to drop the boom. And it's like 4, 3, 2, boom. I love We're so giddy about that. We're getting better at it.
Great, dude.
Hey,
So
some
great.
hiccups along the way, but it's working. It's good.
Yeah.
We got it. Dude, we got to play the hits, man. That's what they say. You can't go to a Billy Joel concert and him not play Piano Man.
Right.
We have to talk about Shohei Ohtani stealing bases. We have to talk about the Mets. We have to talk about the Detroit Tigers. We have to talk about the Guardians. All these
Talk
playoff
about the
teams.
Yankees. You got to talk about the Brewers. You got to talk about.
Yeah. Where do we begin? I say.
I say we start. I think we got to talk about Shohei, right? Really quick.
Yeah.
49th bag. Now you're like 2 home runs away. You're 1 bag away, 2 bombs away. That could be in one game. We could see 50-50, which would be really cool.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, you could see one. You were 1 game away. You're 1 game away. Now you're literally 1 game away from seeing 50-50.
Again, he's like one of those guys, like the Jeter stuff, where like those things seem to happen to these guys. Like the moment is bigger than the moment you wrote, and it's like you can't write it.
Right.
But it happens to guys like this. He's in that category.
Oh, there's no doubt, dude. There's no doubt. And that is, you're exactly right. Like Jeter, 3,000 hit, it was a homer, right?
Yes, it was a homer. I was there.
3,000 hits a homer. His last hit at Yankee Stadium's a walk-off.
Yeah.
It's
By
like,
the way,
dude, Jim Tomey's, I just saw the other day, Jimmy's 500th homer was an opposite field walk-off.
yeah, exactly. I'll go back to the Jeter thing. There were like 2 or 3 rainouts. He didn't get it at home. And he got into a slump in a home series, went on a road, and like got close. And then there was like a rain out here and a rain out there. And then they went home. And he went home. And by the way, he went 5 for 5 in that game. He was
Did he?
He was like 2 or 3 away.
Oh, my God.
And it was off David Price. I was there. That was one of the craziest experiences. But again, that's like what I see Shohei Ohtani. I could see him stealing 2 bags, and then like they surprised us by him closing the game. Like why not? Like
Dude, that's a possibility. Are we going to see Shohei in the playoffs pitching? Seriously.
Let's not forget, folks, the Mike Trout for Shohei Ohtani in the WBC. Ohtani on the mound. Like, can you imagine him in the postseason? All of a sudden, hey, division series, he's going to start pitching an inning every couple of games. You're like, oh, well, my God, that'd be amazing.
Dude, the other day on MLB Now with Brian Kenny, he brings Joe Madden on. Cup of Joe he has like once a week or every day or something. And he asked Joe Madden, who obviously is Ohtani's former manager with the Angels,
Right.
if he's ready to go, would you pitch him? And Joe said, definitely. He's like, if he's good to go and he has no, for a guy like Shohei, he has no, he's not nervous at all and he's ready to go. Yeah, I'm going to pitch him. So like to hear Joe Madden say that, I was like, wow.
Yeah, dude. And hey, man, let's stick in the NL, the Brewers. A little influxed over the last couple of years of managerial change, and they bring in like pretty hardcore guy. But this team loves that manager. If you listen to any of the post-game stuff last night, they love him. They bought into him. How about they didn't start their post-game celebration until Bob Uecker could come down from the booth and he celebrated with them in the locker room. That franchise is in a really good place right now.
That's awesome, dude. And hey, hats off to Murph. Hats off to Pat Murphy. Nice job, Murph. Way to lead from the front. And also too, don't forget Craig Counsell, left Milwaukee to go to Chicago, which Chicago is winning. They're doing good, and Counts is going to do good there. But I do think that, a lot of people thought, with Counsell leaving, and Corbin Burns being gone, traded, and Devin Williams being out for most of the year, it's going to be a tough year for the Brewers, and they go and win the Central again. I mean, it just says a lot about the organization, top to bottom, really.
Yeah.
Ownership, Pat Murphy, our man Mikey Fasalo.
PR's great.
Yeah, the PR guys, the best in the business. And a lot of those guys we talked to is just a lot of grinder mentalities, a lot of day one mentalities. Let's go get them today, boys. Let's go get them today. And that's what you see. So hats off to Pat Murphy and the Brewers for winning that division. That's not easy to do, Chinch. Wire to wire, that is not easy to do.
Yeah, talk about wire to wire. How hard is that?
Yeah, I mean, it's because I think that at times you get hot in April, and I remember with the Reds. I mean, 2024, we were in first place at the break, and I was like, oh man, All-Star break, we're in first place, and we end up in last. You know what I mean? Like I was just saying, it's not easy to keep all facets of the game going and making sure you're pitching well and your bullpen's holding up, the health of your team, and your lineup's hitting, and your superstars are not getting hurt and stuff like that. So, I mean, you look at the Brewers, talk about some storms that they had to weather. Like I said, with Yelich was having an all-star year, really doing well, and then bam, he has back surgery, he's out for the season. Willie Adames is really the guy, the shortstop. Willie's has had 13 three-run homers. He's driven over 100 runs, 30 bombs. He's really been the catalyst to that lineup, I think. Obviously William Contreras has had a nice year behind the dish, goes to the All-Star game, but I think Terang at the top has done a great job stealing bases. Everybody's played their role. Garrett Mitchell coming up, he has over an 800 OPS. He's playing good baseball too. I feel like when you look at the Brewers, everybody has a role in that lineup. Everyone has a role out in the bullpen, especially since Devin Williams has come back to close games out, and the rotation's been better than advertised. So, but good for Pat Murphy for kind of being like, no, we're going to win this thing, and they did it, pretty much wire to wire.
Yeah, and to your example, the ups and downs of a season. If you watch the Yankees this year, talk about ups and downs, changing bullpen guys getting hurt, Darren Judge going into slumps. What's Juan Soto's not going to stay here, and here they are again, man. Last night, you got to see that locker room celebration was out of control.
Yeah.
But
well, dude, because they also didn't get in last year. I think not getting in last year, being 82 and 80, I was in that clubhouse and understanding like it bothered those guys. The Aaron Judges and Booney and the guys that have been there, Rizzo and Volpe and LeMahieu, these guys, G. Stanton, it bothered them that they weren't in the postseason. And I think there was a chip on their shoulder from day one, dude. It just felt like, those guys were getting to spring training early, the work that they put in, they went and got a couple guys they needed to get, added a Marcus Stroman, Carlos Rodon came back in with, a better mentality. Clark Schmidt. Garrett Cole was out for a while. Those guys kind of hunkered down and locked in. The bullpen is figuring itself out. I think it's figuring itself out in a good way. Clay Holmes gave up another one last night. I felt bad for him, but gave up that tying home run to Justin Turner in the 8th. And then look who won the game last night. Rizzo drove in both runs yesterday. Single in the 4th, I think, and then drove in that big run late to win the game and the double to put him up 2-1 and win the whole thing. So, dude, they're sitting well, man. And you also saw Juan Soto and celebrating after the game and Judge too and all those guys. And I think the biggest thing, Chinch, man, when you see these teams celebrate, because I know if you think as a Yankee fan, you're like World Series or bust. World Series or bust. I know that's what you're thinking, and all crazy Yankee fans are thinking because they're very passionate. They have all those championships, and that's their standard, which I get. But at the end of the day, it is hard to win a division. It's hard to get to the postseason. It's hard to get into the dance. There's so many variables that have to go right, even if you are the New York Yankees. So part of me was thinking, are they telling the Yankees not to celebrate till they win the division? I'm like, no, man. When you're a player, you know how hard it is to get in. You celebrate every chance you get. Every chance you get, when you clinch, you celebrate when you win the division. You celebrate if you win the first round. I remember with the Red Sox, that first round we won the division series, and we celebrated when then we got the championship series and we lost in Game 7 to the Rays. And I remember thinking, thank God we celebrated when we got in. Thank God we celebrated when we won the division, and thank God we celebrated when we won the division series, because those are the only times we got to celebrate with those guys and all the work that goes in starting day one at spring training. Nobody in that clubhouse is healthy. Everybody's banged up. Everybody's grinding, trying to figure it out. So when you get in, you're one of the teams that gets into that postseason, man. It's time to celebrate. And I hope they celebrate again when they win the division. And then hopefully they're celebrating all the way to the World Series.
Great point, dude. And hey, back one more time to you're really good friends with Aaron Boone. It's quite obvious. And you coached with him last year. I just want to play real quick a little bite of his post-game press conference there for you to react to. Listen to this.
We got a division to go win, and we got a championship to go win. But enjoy this first step. Congratulations, and let's go.
That's awesome. Bro, that's awesome. That is so incredible. Oh my gosh, dude. Hey, what do you say? We got a division to go win. We got a championship to go win, but let's effing go and let's enjoy this right now. Let's lean into this and let's make sure that we're not, that they know the work that it's taken to get there. That's what I mean. Those guys in that room, they know how hard it is. It is so hard to win a game at the big league level, let alone to get into the postseason. And like I said, I know the Yankee fans, they won a championship. I get it. But as a player, celebrate, man. Every milestone you get to, make sure that you're locking arms with each other and you're appreciating what you're doing.
Yeah, great points, man. And the Guardians are about to celebrate. They have like 9 different clinching situations. And look, we talked a little bit about them yesterday, but, they're the class of that division right now, we got to say.
Oh, dude, are you kidding me? I mean, the Guardians just being down 4-2 late and then scoring 3 runs in the 10th to win it like yesterday. I mean, that team's good, man. That team's good. And like I said, that bullpen's the best in baseball. So you got a real problem on your hands if you're another team, especially postseason time, having to go up against that bullpen. But man, they just keep fighting and battling. Guys, that were Brennan gets the big one, and all these guys get these big hits, and Josh Naylor goes deep twice to kind of keep him in the game, and it just seems like it's a new guy every night for those guys, man. I think that's the biggest thing with the Guardians, and they deserve it. Talk about Stephen Vogt and what he's meant to that team, and the how they've done it pretty much wire to wire too. So, to watch them do it is incredible. And then to see the race now, to see the Guardians end up beating the Twins and the Tigers end up winning, and now they're a half game back. The Tigers are a half game back. I mean, where they've come from is incredible. What are the numbers, Chinch?
Yeah, I got that stat for you. Hold on.
Yeah.
The Tigers were 55-63 at the end of play on August 10th. They are now 80-73, and as you said, a half game out of a playoff spot. That means they are 25-10 in their last 35 games. Case.
Wow, dude, that's elite. That's elite company with Skubal as your lead guy, going to win the Cy Young probably in the American League. I mean. And they're just doing so many things well. And A.J. Hinch is an awesome manager, man. And to bring those guys together, that youth, They're the youngest team in baseball, dude. I mean, it's literally it's incredible what they're doing. So Riley Green, kind of becoming their star in that lineup, hits that the big home run last night. They're finding ways, dude. And for the Tigers to be a half game out, I said it last week on MLB Tonight. They were saying, who do you think's still in? I said, do not count out the Tigers. They're still in it. I thought the Mariners were still in it too. They're making that push, but they're struggling lately. Yankees have got them twice.
Yep.
Not a time to be scuffling. You got to find a way to win, and the offense, which has plagued them all year long, got them. I also don't know if you saw that Julio Rodriguez play too. That was painful to watch. 1-1 game, foul ball. Rosarina throws the bat, and Julio Rodriguez gets out of the way, and then kind of like does the old shimmy out of the way. But the play was still live, and Wells throws it down there and picks him off. Chaz tags him out, and it really kills a rally, and then the Yankees end up winning. So
that's a freak thing, though, isn't it? That's like a speed of the game and something that's never been in your eye line ever before. I don't destroy him for that play.
No, I agree. Dude. I can see the lapse right there because that's not a play you usually see. When the bat comes flying, I mean, maybe you even think that the bat's flying down, and maybe there's time called. Who knows what he thought? It just was a bad look with where they're at. It's a must-win game. He's on third, and they end up ending the inning or whatever, ending the rally.
Right. And one more thing on AJ Hinch. Yankees fans aren't going to love that I say this, but hey, he was at the top of the world. He was the manager. He was the class of managers. And then he had to take his medicine for, the whole Astros situation, whatever. He's proving right now he is a great manager, regardless if anybody's banging on a drum or not, and whether he knows about it or not.
Well, dude, AJ Hinch has always been a great manager. And at the end of the day, that was, 7 years ago. And at some point, we all in society have to move on. You have to forgive, move on. And make the adjustments they need to make. The league made the adjustments they needed to make with cameras and all that stuff. And let's move on. And you look at AJ Hinch, you're like, this guy's always been a great manager, and it was the right hire there in Detroit, and he's doing a great job.
Yeah. All right. Let's flip it over to the NL, and of course, you have to have some sort of controversy in New York. So with the Mets, I don't know if you've seen this. You probably haven't because it's much more local, but people are popping off that the fans haven't filled that stadium for the Mets, haven't filled it at all, and they're winning and they're playing so hard and all this. And after the game, first of all, they put another thumping on yet another team, and this is what Brandon Nimmo had to say right after the game to the fans.
All right, 10 games to go before hopefully the start of a playoff run. Huge series coming up here to close out the regular season at home against the Phillies. Just what's the feeling as you enter this final stretch?
I mean, we're ready to go. This is going to be playoff baseball, and Mets fans, we need you guys to fill this place up. This place needs to be rocking on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We need your help. We need everybody to get out here. We need this place full. This is playoff baseball. This is what you guys want. Let's go. Let's go, Mets.
Brandon, you're the best. Thanks, man.
Thank you. Let's go. Let's go.
I love it, dude. I love it because it's the truth, man. Fans, especially Mets fans, they're part of that team. They're part of that, that culture. So, I love that Nimmo says that because, like, hey, he's just saying, like, we want the support, we want the energy. It really does matter. And also you think in their division, where's the one place that you don't want to play in the playoffs? Probably the bank out there with the Phillies because those fans pack it. They're rowdy. They're ready to go. It's a home field advantage. So I can see how you want to keep packing that place. The Mets have been incredible, dude. It's an incredible story from talking about ups and downs of a season, especially where they started out the gates and were calling for Carlos Mendoza's job the 5th day of the year. When they're 0-5 and they have found a way to kind of get it done. So it's really, really exciting to see how the Mets are doing, the way they're winning games. And right now with Lindor being down, they're finding ways. They put up a 10 spot just out the gates, 9 runs in 1 inning. Nimmo with the 3-run bomb. He started off the inning with a walk, I believe. Vientos, still doing his thing. Iglesias is still doing his thing. Alonso's swinging the bat. I mean, that's what you need right now is pretty much everyone to step up with Lindor being down. But, man, the Mets are playing great baseball. And like we talked about before, that start and pitching has been great.
Yeah, and man, I always say it starts with the head, right? No panic and patience from Carlos Mendoza early in the year when his life was on the line, This was his shot, And he stayed calm, stayed cool. I trust these guys. They trust themselves, and they're there. One more quick note on the Mets. Steve Cohen, who is the owner, who is arguably maybe the best trader in national history, he's stopping trading to focus more on the Mets right now. It was a big story in the news. Really? Yes. Yeah. So that's a really.
What do you mean he's stopping trade? Like he's.
Well, I mean, the guy probably had to. I'm not a day trader, neither are you. I don't know how that
Yeah.
actually works. That hedge fund stuff, which I probably should have gone into. Now I look back in my life, but like that takes up a good chunk of your day. And now he's like, no way, man. I'm the Mets owner. Let's go. Let's get after it.
Right. Oh my God,
So-
that's awesome, dude. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Let's go, man. The storylines are shaping up, man. I think when I'm looking at it right now, but when you look at that, you look at the wild card race. Dude, Baltimore lost again too, didn't they? 2-8, and they're like, dude, they've lost 3 in a row. Kansas City's lost 4 in a row. That's why the Tigers are itching closer. I mean, and the Tigers did a great job beating Kansas City head to head. Minnesota's now scuffling. You look at Boston, you're like, oh, Boston, if you could have just played 500, because the Boston does have 3 against the Twins coming up. So they actually, if they could be 3 back, I know Alex Cora the other day was saying we want to go into that series 3 back. They're 4 back right now. But you look at Arizona's kind of scuffling. They won last night, but the Mets have been the team that really made that run. Atlanta won last night, so they're 2 back. So that wild card race in the NL is really, really getting fun with San Diego, Arizona, the Mets, and Atlanta all sitting there about 2 games apart.
Yeah, and let's give credit to the Braves because they are fighting without the best, maybe arguably one of the top 3 baseball players in the league. They could have given this up, or it could have fallen away, and you would have been like, oh yeah, well they lost Acuna, but they are still sitting right there. Like anything can happen in this next week and a half.
Well, dude, they lost Acuna. The Austin Riley's been down for a while. Ozzie Albies has been down. They've lost a lot of guys. Spencer Strider, the guy that was picked to be the Cy Young Award winner, went down first start. So the Braves they've really had to battle, and they're doing it, man. They're battling. They're 82-70. They're battling. So we'll see. Can't wait to see what happens tonight, though, Chinch. Can't wait to see what happens tonight. There's some just this is the time, man. This is so much fun to be watching baseball right now, brother. And we still got great matches. Yankees, Mariners one more time today, or it'll be 4:00 today. Giants, Orioles, Twins, Guardians have another one. Braves. And the Dodgers, we'll see if Shohei can maybe do it against the Marlins tonight. We'll see what happens, but it's getting fun. Mets, Phillies starting tonight, man. Talk about
Here we go.
that's what I mean. It's not going to be easy for the Mets. It's not going to be easy for the Mets. A 4-game set, and there's 10 games to play. They're gonna have to put their big boy pants on this one.
All right, let's go get after it. We're going to be here everywhere. Here every day, folks. We're trying to do this every day for you guys. And Sean Casey.
We are doing it every day. We've been doing it every day, dude. We're not trying to do anything. We've been doing it every day. So
Coming up on 600 episodes.
we're not trying to do anything, Chidge. We show up every day, dude. Every day we post too. So keep joining us out there, everybody. We appreciate you tons.
Right.
Chidge, love you, man. Catch you tomorrow, brother.